The charlatan is an intriguing, fascinating, captivating rabbit hole. But when we go down that rabbit hole, it leads us nowhere. Everywhere on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, there is a beautiful appeal. It's very enticing to want to go into that rabbit hole and to see what's there. We see somebody with 1,000, 10,000, 1 million subscribers, on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and it catches our attention. We wonder, what is down that rabbit hole? But the great charlatan the appeal is very beautiful. It's decorative in a very elegant, seeming regal and captivating way. And yet when we go into that hole, it's a dead end. There's nothing there. That's the charlatan. We are all looking for, you can say, that rabbit hole that's going to lead us to what we call like Alice in Wonderland, a great realm of knowledge, of teaching, of wisdom, and yet there is nothing except the appearance of wisdom, knowledge, and teaching. So we like to give the appearance on our Facebook or YouTube, I see so many things, that we have leadership behind our eyes. But when we go to see what's under the hood of those eyes, when we really get into that person's psyche, we realize that person's psyche is just a facade. And that's the charlatan. There's this great appeal of, I am a leader, I am a wise one, I have a teaching that can help you to become your great victory. But the psyche cannot lie. It doesn't matter how many robots we have as our subscribers, because we all know that you can buy subscribers, and we all know that there are ways that you can buy your channel to be above everybody else's channel. We already know this, okay? So as we continue to progress in this age of your status is based on how many followers you have, as we continue to go down that road, we're going to start to recognize what has substance and depth. Okay, talking about a rabbit hole that actually leads somewhere, like a journey of leadership, of wisdom, of knowledge, and what is just a dead end, a hole that's quite appealing, and it's so decorative with all these beautiful flowers around it, and yet there's nothing there. There's nothing behind the eyes. There's nothing in that psyche. This is when we're going to start to recognize what is character and what is facade, because you're one or the other. You cannot be character and a facade at the same time. And a facade, like I said, there's beautiful flowers around this hole, but then when you go in, it's like a shallow pit with nothing much going on. There's nothing going on in there. Behind those eyes, there's no depth. There's no character. There's no character. And we're going to start to realize what is character. That's what this technology we call the age of attention is going to do for us. We're going to start to realize, okay, what is character and what is facade? And as we continue to move down, the facade creative illusion, okay, is going to start to, it's going to reach ahead, meaning you can only go so far in a shallow hole. You can only post so many, we call fake travel photos. There's only so much you can do. There comes a point when the character is going to exceed far beyond the facade of I have leadership and wisdom and knowledge to provide you. Because character is dignity. Dignity implies that we have gone through the process of determination, of overcoming fear, of overcoming the temptation to sell my soul for a record deal or to sell my sex for attention. Implies working diligently on one's own creativity, meditating to have an original, fresh mind. That's what dignity, character carves into a person's psyche. Facade is this kind of easy, I'm just going to pay $1,000, I'm going to get 10,000 subscribers. There is no skill. Skill, a trade, implies you've gone through the initiation process of what it means to be a character. Determination, overcoming doubt, the seduction to sell your sex so you can get attention or to get somebody to get you a record deal or whatever kind of thing, okay, is your thing. It's about staying the course of your creative, meditative freshness. So as we see these facades kind of blooming everywhere, where we're starting to recognize that there's all these beautiful holes, like these rabbit holes in the Wizard or the Eve-like Wizard of Oz and Alice in Wonderland, and yet we're starting to realize what's going to lead us somewhere, to our own nobility, and what's just going to kind of lead us to another dead end. Another dead end. So we're going to see, there's going to be all kinds of people. Some people have 10,000 subscribers, some people have 1 million subscribers, and we're going to start to seeing a lot of people have all kinds of subscribers for the beautiful appearance of they're selling their family life, or they're selling what they eat, or they're selling their lifestyle, or how they brush their hair, or how they walk their dog, or the beach, okay, these kinds of things. But there's going to come a point when we're going to look for depth. We want depth of experience. We want leadership. And leadership is character. And character is usually the people who are developing a character are not the ones that have the most subscribers. Or we call it the most attention. Because they're not the ones that are selling their character. They're allowing wealth to come to them. It's kind of like, think of soil. Whoever has the most nutrients in the soil tends to grow. Okay, had the possibility to grow the most things. Nutrients is character. Nutrients is character. Okay? So we all want to be captivated. We all want to be stimulated. Because we're quite bored. So we're kind of trying to find something to make us less bored with our time on planet Earth. Because as the population continues to rise, we're going to start to see more of this boredom thing. Okay, this I don't know my purpose. I'm bored with life. That kind of thing. Because as the population rises, we're less tribal. And yet we're yearning for a tribal community, so that we can truly come alive. And we're going to start to realize, what is it to really come alive? What is it to come alive so exuberantly in my mind, in my body, in my spirit, that I've reached a sense of completion. We talk about in that Taoism, a moment of true exuberance is a moment when you can say, like, okay, I'm ready to die. We're seeking that level of, that depth with our human experience. And we're not finding it in the facades because we're bored. And the people they're trying to feed us more things because they know we're bored. And they're trying to feed us more stuff to fill our psyche, to kind of give us this temporary stimulation of pleasure or excitement or adventure. But that stimulation is quickly fades. We watch it and we're like, okay, I felt excitement for about 5 minutes and then I kind of feel bored again. Because right now more than ever, we're wanting to develop a psyche, something that we can work on. We want to work on ourselves. What else is there to do in life? It's boring if you're not working on yourself. If you're not developing character, what are you doing? What are you doing? If you're not developing your character, you're probably just, just bored, just doing whatever. And nothing really provides a depth or provides an exploration or a discovery or revelation. Character is what gives us this sense of nobility. It gives us a sense of leadership, a wisdom to offer the tribe. Because when we truly surround ourselves with a tribe, we talk about a community of people who are all developing character, that's when we begin to realize the real, what we call the real collaboration. So we think about these kind of, YouTube collaborations, Instagram collaborations on, white women doing a bunch of workouts and stuff like that. and we see that as, oh, that's tribal. And in a sense it is, community of collaborators coming together. But I'm talking about when we really get into our nobility, a sense of dignity with ourselves, that's when we become visionary. And visionary is something you cannot fake. It's not something you can present, some shiny, come to my rabbit hole and see what I have. Visionary is something that you either have developed, you're developing, or you're faking. And there's really no sort of confusion to what is what and what is what. Okay, so we're going to start to see, what is just confusing us, and it gives us a distraction, but doesn't give us we call a character, and what is actually giving us a reality, a creative reality, a reality that is going to help us to reach a place of say authenticity. And that's what the Aquarian age is about. Helping us to recognize the bozos, because they're out there, the bozos. You get to know them, you're like, oh my gosh, this is nothing really, there's nothing really special here, And then we're gonna start to realize the we call the authentic leaders. And authentic leaders are what we call the visionary, in the way they have great foresight, they have great insight. They're like the medium, they're like the architect. They have their own sort of creative uniqueness. So when we see this herd of all of these people doing all this stuff, and it's all the same. It's just different, million subscriber there, and it's just all the same stuff. That's the great facade. That's the great illusion of what we call forward thinkers. And that usually doesn't go anywhere. It taps out, meaning it reaches a cap in how much you can actually hold in that facade sort of illusionary reality, where you either have to deconstruct it and you have to kind of start over, or you just kind of have to try to figure out, how can I make different fake travel photos, But overall, we're going to see that the characters are the ones that are actually going to be movers and shakers in the way that they are carving into society something that is, it's its own creative uniqueness. Either it's like an architect, either it's like some sort of engineer, or it's some sort of author, or some sort of earth science teacher. We're going to start to see that these rabbit holes are actually leading to something what we call the future. A future that is not a distraction. It's not, I'm bored, let me just escape my reality because I'm bored with my life. It's more so of getting into a reality, a future reality of ourselves, where we are experiencing something that is like a tangible a tangible manifestation of our earth experience, not just some sort of Instagram post that we don't know if it's real or not. Something, an actual tangible manifestation of what we call our this future reality of planet Earth. That has something that has substance, something that has depth. It grows. It becomes something a part of the earth. Something that's a facade or illusionary is what we call some sort of hologram, of projection of some sort of flower, but it doesn't actually have roots. There is nothing tangible to it. There's no such manifestation of it. It's just some sort of fantasy. So there's a lot of these fantasies out there, this fantasy and that fantasy, and it can be so enticing to want to, oh yes, my reality from this fantasy. When we talk about the tangible is the leadership that it provides, it is a creative reality that just gains more momentum. It just gains more momentum. And that's authenticity. When a creative reality that person is projecting gains more momentum. Not, it reaches the max and then it can't really do anything else. The facade, it can't gain momentum because it's not practical. It's not reality. So what has that character gains momentum and will continue to gain momentum because it has a contact with the earth. It has a respect for the earth. It is for the earth, not for the fantasy of I need attention because of my low self-esteem. It's for the earth. That will gain momentum.